This is Casey Doty with the Technology Matters YouTube channel. Today we're doing 10 Days of Pain Facebook lead follow-up on command with special guest Brandon Cohen.
We are going to be talking about lead follow-ups. We call it the 10 Days of Pain lead follow-up. Brandon came up with that name because we hit the lead follow-up hard in the first 10 days after doing a Facebook ad. Now, we're focusing on Facebook ads today, but this lead follow-up does not have to be specifically towards Facebook. You change the language a little bit, and it can be used for a lead follow-up. So, Brandon, do you want to talk a little bit about the premise behind this campaign and kind of what the smart plan?
So the idea is, so a little disclaimer, the 10 Days of Pain, I actually stole that from Ben Kinney.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So the best ideas oftentimes are somebody else's. So feel free to borrow them and just fail to return them. The idea with internet lead generation and Facebook ads in particular is more often than not, you're not going to get in touch with them the first time you call them. Much to my chagrin, it just doesn't play out that way. So really, it's creating this habit in this system so that you can methodically and, for me, automatically follow up with these people. Because like Gigi just was talking about, she got 20 some odd leads this weekend. Well, if you're doing that all week, every week, and you're pulling in 200, 300, 400 leads a month, it becomes just a Herculean task to get in touch with all of them. So that's when you automate the texts, automate the emails, and then you're just making your phone calls each day.
Yep.
So that's the idea behind it.
Yep. And so what we're going to do today is set up the smart plan through command, where every part of this that can be automated is automated. And even the parts that aren't automated, like making the phone calls, for instance, you'll have your script right there. It'll pop up in your task for you. Just look at your daily tasks in command. It'll pop up there, and literally it'll walk you through everything you need to do each day. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and kind of show you guys how we're going to get started on this. So for those of you that are actually going to set up your smart plan right now, go ahead and log into command. And one of the, let's refresh this here. So you can see I was talking about the task, and you can see this on my home page right here, the tasks that you have. And so basically each day you want to be looking at this, and if you follow this smart plan we're setting up, then it'll pop up with everything you need to do each day right there. And so when you're actually working on it, I would actually go into the task page, and then you can see all your tasks right here. And if you don't get to something that day, you can snooze it till the next day, so it will pop up again in your tasks for that day. And you can look at tasks based on the day, past days, so you can kind of look at different ranges of these tasks. But this will really make your life easy if you're looking at this task list every day and using it just to do all of your lead follow-up. Now, the first thing we're going to break this class down into 3 parts. So the first part is going to be setting up the smart plan, and there's a couple things in the smart plan that you're going to need to do that you might not know how to do yet. One is setting up a neighborhood landing page, which you can do through command. The other is setting up a saved search parameter for your clients. And I'll give you the 2 different reasons when you would do those 2 different things. But so I'll show you how to set up the smart plan, and then I'll also go through how to do those tasks of the smart plan. So you'll have that on video. So when you're ready to do those, you can watch this back and remember how to do those. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the smart plan section on the left-hand side here. And now we are going to go into, so I'm going to show you real quick all the smart plans that are available that they already have set up. So you can see all those listed here. Now we're actually today going to be creating our own smart plan that's going to actually incorporate one of these smart plans and incorporate it's going to incorporate the Promote My App smart plan, and then we're also going to be using one of the Neighborhood Nurture smart plans. So I'll explain what those are more when we get to that step. So let's go ahead. We're going to click Smart Plans and go to My Smart Plans, and then we're going to click on Create. Now we're going to name this, I'm going to call this Facebook lead follow-up. And you can see I already have one, so it's telling me it must be unique. So I'm just going to call this number 2 because I'll be creating one of these each time I do this class. So we're going to go ahead and create this. And so this might seem a little labor intensive to set this up, but after you have it set up, it's done. Then you just have to do the tasks. So I'm going to walk you through slowly how to set up each of these tasks, how to set up each of these steps in the SMART plan. And oh, I need to share a Google Drive document with you. So let me share, I'm going to share this Google Drive document real quick with you guys, because what this is going to do, I actually have this all laid out of what each day entails for setting up this SMART plan. And it'll also allow you to copy and paste the scripts we have or the text that's going to go into your text message. It'll allow you to just copy and paste these into your SMART plan that we're setting up. So let me go ahead and share this with you guys. So I'm going to try to do it this way. So let's see if I can just share this into the chat box here. Haven't done it this way before, but this should work. So let's see. So I don't think you'll be able to click that link there, but if you just copy and paste that link into into your address bar, that should allow you to get to this Google Drive document. And then you can copy and paste any of this stuff out of here. And what I would actually recommend is you start creating a library of all your scripts, all your text responses. For instance, Brandon has this amazing library of basically any text response he would ever need for any situation. He has that already set up in a document, so he can just copy and paste that right into command, and it just makes your life so much easier. So I can see, cool. I can already see
in this, guys. So, oh, Casey, I just froze up.
Yeah, I would.
Did I just freeze up?
Yeah, I would join with your phone if you can.
Okay.
Hey, Case.
Yeah, Samantha, go ahead.
Where did you send that document to?
I posted the link to it in the chat section of Zoom.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll share it with you real quick because I know you're in your car, so I'll just share it to your email real quick.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Is it still Avalon Team at KW?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, there you go. So and then, like I said, what I recommend is I would actually create your own Google Doc, and you can still always have access to mine if I update it, but I would create your own and a version of this or a folder that has all your scripts in it and just really start keeping track of all these, because I know for those of you in the PC program, Jackie has created some awesome scripts for you guys having to do with smart plans and things like that. So just start creating your library so you have access to all this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back into the smart plan here.
A blood drive for the community. And
so I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody again real quick. Oh. So let's see. The first step is going to be very simple, and that's going to be make a call. So the way you do this is you click on whatever's on the right-hand side, whatever you want to do, and you drag that over to, why is that not working?
It worked for me if you just clicked it.
Oh, thank you. I'm a dork. Thank you. Okay, so the first step is going to be make a call. So we're going to say call. And now this is a really cool feature of command that allows you to do this. So this little function, this parentheses with the F dot right here, if you click on that, that actually allows you to auto-populate the client's information into this. So for instance, I'm going to do first name and then space and then last name, space, and then phone number. And so when that pops up in my task list, it'll say call Bill Johnson and then his phone number. So you don't have to worry about looking it up. It'll pop up right there. And then you can actually go into the contact card as you're making those calls, which is pretty cool too, because you want to be noting all this stuff you're doing in their contact card. So we're going to say, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy and paste what I have in my day one 10 Days of Pain doc here. So I'm just going to copy this day one right here, and I am going to paste that right into the task description. So I'm going to say call, and I put leave a message right here because if they don't answer, you want to leave a message, and you're going to say hi, and then you're going to replace this first name again with their first name here. And so agent name, obviously you replace that. I don't know if that has a populate thing. No, so you obviously would put your name in here. No, don't put my name, put your name. And so it's Casey Doty with Keller Williams Arizona Realty. Thanks for checking out my listing on Facebook. I'm going to put together a list of similar properties for you. Is there anything specific that you're looking for? So basically confirming that, they checked out your listing and just asking if there's anything else they need. So that would be leave a message. So that's still, so we're going to be still on day one. So if you do leave that message, you're also going to text them. So we're going to click on send SMS. So now here's where you have two different options for text messaging. So Keller Williams allows you to do the automated text messaging, which I highly recommend you set up. So what you do is you create a Twilio account. They give you a phone number. We're similar to like Google Voice, something like that, where you get a phone number, and then it allows all this texting to be automated. So that way you put in what you want to text, and we're going to set it up that way. And I'm also going to show you how to set it up to do it manually, but it will really make your life easier if you just let it be automated for you. So I'm going to show you both ways on how to set that up. So if you don't have Twilio set up yet, and you want to set up your Twilio, I'm actually looking for somebody that has not set theirs up yet that would let me record a video of setting up their account, and I'll actually just set it all up for you. I can't do a video because I already set mine up a long time ago. So if somebody would be willing to do that.
Yep.
Who is this?
You can do me, Casey. It's Samantha.
Okay, cool. So I'll go with you after the class, probably tomorrow, and I will go ahead and set up your Twilio, and then I'll post that video for everybody to see, so you guys can all set up your Twilios. It's not a hard process by any means. It does cost $20 to set up, but then all that money goes into your account for text messaging. Now it does cost money to text, but it is extremely low. It's literally like 0.0073 cents per text. So it is not a lot of money to send text messages through this system. But it tracks it all inside your command, so it'll track all your text messages. It makes your life so much easier. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a text message. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy the text message info out of my document that I gave you guys, and we're going to paste that in here. And again, we're going to say, we're going to replace the first name with the first name option. So again, this is the automated way of doing this. I'll show you next how to set up manually. Just a second. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to. Give me 1 second here, guys. Brandon, can you say something? I'm not seeing you that you're that you can talk on here, so you might need to. I don't think you're dialed in correctly. So Not sure what's going on, but I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't think you're dialed in the right way. Okay. So, and then of course you're going to replace the agent name with your name again. And you want to make sure your name's in there because they're not going to know that the text message is from you. So you want to make sure that your name's in there with Keller Williams Arizona Realty. Thanks again for checking out my listing on Facebook. I'm going to put together a list of similar properties for you. Is there anything specific that you're looking for? There you go. Are you there now, Brandon? You are unmuted. Okay.
Casey, can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now. Cool. Thank you. Good. You're back. Okay. So, so text message. So we're going to set up that text message. Now this will automatically go out to that person the first day you add them to this smart plan. So all this smart plan is based on the day that you add them to this. So it starts as soon as you add them, starts on day one, and then it goes every day after that. We'll do the next steps. So now, if you are going to be not doing the automated text messaging, what you're going to want to do here is actually set up a task instead of a SMS. You're going to set up a task, and you're going to say in the task, text, and then again, you're going to do first name, and I would probably do last name, and phone number, and then you're going to do the same thing where you copy, because you're still going to want your script there so it's easy for you to access. So we're still going to have the script here. And again, we're going to go ahead and replace this with the name, and right now we're just going to do first name. But again, on this, you're setting up a task to do this, so you will have to manually text this person. It will not text them for you. So that's really the only difference. If you're automated, you're going to set it up with an SMS right here. If you're manual, you're going to do this. You're not going to do both. You're only going to do one or the other. And if you haven't set up yet, but you are, go ahead and do the automated one, and I'll help you get your Twilio set up. Does anybody have questions on that? Good.
Casey, I would suggest that if they are going to text themselves from their phone, that they create a notepad or a notebook inside their phone where they can just copy and paste these texts.
Great idea. That's a great idea. And for instance, do that, or if you have Google Drive set up, you can copy right out of the Google Drive document on your phone. But make sure you have that available to you on your phone so you can copy and paste those. Because if you get 20 leads, you're doing this manually, you don't want to have to type out 20 different texts. So have it set up, whichever way you want to do it, to be able to copy and paste that text right into your text messaging on your phone.
You might be able to do it too with, I don't know what the feature is called, where you type.
It's called text replacement.
Yeah, because that's what I do with my contact information.
You can 100% do it with text replacement also, and I actually have a video on my YouTube channel that shows you how to use text replacement for your app to change the app message that you're sending out. So that is a possibility to do it that way as well. So that is another option. Good call there, Margaret. That's cool. Okay, so I'm actually going to take out this task right here for my purposes because I don't need that in because I'm setting up the automated. But just remember that you're doing that if you're doing the manual text. So I'm going to move this up. So now, here's how you transfer to the next day in your smart plan. So you do set delay, and that you put this in here, and then that will, when you do the next step, that will make it be on the next day. So the next day, we're going to do all, and you can now, This is day 2. So if I wanted this to be a farther amount of time in between, you can change this and you can see the days on my screen right here going up to making it a later day. We're only going to do 1 day because this smart plan has to do with doing things every single day. So again, we do call. We're going to put in first name, space, last name, space, and again, you can do the phone number here if you want, and then we're going to say call, and so I don't have the script lid here in this document, but this is basically going to be the same. If you do get a hold of him, you're going to use basically the same script you used the day before. So again, we're going to do first name here. And this one, you are going to you are not going to leave a message. So no message on this one. And now day 2, the next step we're going to do is send out an email. So we're going to add in another, we're going to scroll up to the top and we're going to add another step, and that's an email. So there's a couple different things you can do with an email in this system. You can send a simple email, which is what we're going to be using for this, or you can send an HTML email, which lets you browse the library for some email templates that they have. Now, a ton of research has been done on marketing emails. So the initial school of thought was your emails need to be heavily graphics based, they need to look amazing, they need to have all this stuff on there. Well, you get actually a better response and reply rate if you actually just do a simple email that just has text and literally just looks like you sat down and wrote the person an email. People actually respond to that better because it looks like you took the time to sit and write them an email instead of just putting them in a marketing campaign and they get the same email that everybody else gets. So that's one of the reasons behind this simple email setup. Now we still have the graphics ones, and those are good to use as well because they might have links they can click, downloading apps, or give them more information. So we do use those as well, but don't sleep on these just standard simple looking emails. They can be very effective. Happy Grasshopper, that business, that's how their whole business is based on this type of emails. So subject, oh, that's one thing I don't have in here. And what do you do for the subject on these emails?
This is the first email?
First email, just the hi, I'm with Keller Williams. Thanks for checking out my listing. I'm going to put together a list of
thanks, exclamation point.
Cool, that easy.
Don't overthink it.
So that's one of the themes you'll find with my Facebook class and this smart plan and things like that is keep things simple. You don't want to give them too much information. You want to just grab their attention, and then you want them to contact you to get more information. So less information is better on a lot of this stuff. So, and I'm going to add this in actually to this document here. I'm going to say subject. Probably need to spell subject right. Okay, and again, we're going to copy and paste this email into here. So, and you can see I have right here as part of this document a little starred section that says make sure you add your signature to this email. That's just to remind you to add your signature. So at the very bottom of that document, you can see I have my signature already set up, so I can just easily copy and paste that into there. And I have, to make them be able to download the app, I have a thing that says to download my home search app, text, and then you put your app code to 87778, and that allows them to download your app. So I already have that set up inside my document, so I don't have to retype that every time. And then we're going to do the same thing here. we're going to erase their first name, and we're going to use the function to put in their first name. And then also nope. So I'm going to make sure. So I don't know if you have to do this. So yeah, so what I would also recommend that you do is, if it's a link, highlight this link and then click this little link button and make sure you paste that into the link target, because that'll get them to be able to actually go to that link. And you can say, just check out my website. So you could also do something like this, like check out my website here, and then highlight that, and then turn that into the link as well. But I like just using the actual link to your website, the name of your website, so they get another visual representation of what the website is, that type of stuff. But that is another option you can do there. And again, make sure you change out your name on here. So just in case you are reading this, because this is going to them, so you need to make sure all of your info is corrected in here. And again, this is just a simple email. And I know we're repeating the same thing over again here, but this is kind of based on that they hadn't seen this or didn't really read it closely. So it's okay that we're sending kind of the same stuff multiple times here. All right, so that's it. That's it for the email task in day 2. So now the next part of day 2 are going to be some tasks for you guys to do. So we're going to go to the create a task, and we're going to click there. And so this is going to be actually 3 tasks in one that we're going to set up here. And what this is going to be is, we're going to, for instance, if you come up with multiple, so I don't have this all in here. So we're going to say, this is going to be look up name in monsoon tax, or look up address. Sorry, it's a little messy here. So you're going to look up their name in the monsoon tax records and see if you can get an address for them. So that's a non-touch. So make sure you change this to non-touch right here. So you're going to look up name and monsoon tax records. And again, we're going to do this function and add in their first name and last name, so you have that right there available to you. So we're going to look up their name in the tax records. And then the next task will be in here. So I'm going to put this again.
So the idea, guys, is once the lead comes in, you're going to pull them up in tax records. If they own a home, then that's going to allow you to set them up on a neighborhood search, which Casey will show you how to do. If let's pretend for a second it's John Smith, and there's 419 different John Smiths. You can take your best guess, or you can go the other way, which is just set them up on a general property search through command, based off of the ad that you were running that they clicked on. So if it was a $600,000 house in Scottsdale, set them up on a $600,000 Scottsdale search.
Yep.
Don't overthink it, general search.
Yep. So, and you can see right here in this day 2, I just copied and pasted the 3 tasks I have here. So actually this would be task number, and I'll add this in also. So this would be task number 1, and then this would be 2, 3, and 4.
So the title or task name for this should probably be stalking. You could include the Facebook, look them up on Facebook, Instagram,
yep.
LinkedIn, MySpace, wherever else you can possibly think of, to gain as much information as you can.
Yep. So yeah, so you're trying to find as much information as you can, and then you can see, so Task number 3 and task number 4, you will only do one of those tasks. So you can see here it says, if you found their address in tax records, then set them up with a neighborhood landing page and add them to the biweekly Neighborhood Nurture Smart Plan. If you did not find their address, then we're going to create a saved search for them. And that's the 2 tasks that I'll be showing you afterwards how to do that. So this will be a task, and then you need to go in and do either one of those, either set them up with that or set them up, you'll set them up with either one of those, and you'll be able to watch at the end of this how to do each one of those tasks. And then with that, that'll actually put them on a separate smart plan or put them on a search, which either one of those will continue to notify them over time. So one is every 2 weeks, and the other one will notify them every time a property that matches their criteria comes available. It will re-notify them through email about that property. Okay, so that's that. That's the task we're going to do there. So, and we're going to, again.
With another, as a side note for this, guys, either way, whether it's a neighborhood search or it's just a general search you're setting up for them, both of those open up additional opportunities for you to create conversations. By checking in, hey, did you receive my email? Are there any changes you'd like me to make? Are there any additional neighborhoods you'd like me to add? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. So, and that's a lot of this stuff. So one of the things we're getting into is like what message you leave or what you're texting them. And the reason we're not getting super specific on what you say in follow-up calls and stuff is that's totally based on what they say to you. So you base what you say to them when you're actually talking to them, what you're sending them on what they're saying to you. So once you actually start a dialogue with them and things like that, then I would actually take them out of this smart plan and then put them on whatever smart plans that would apply to what you're now doing with them, or possibly set them up on, if they're actually buying right now, set them up on an MLS portal. So those other things you do once you actually start talking to them and having a back and forth dialogue with them.
Correct. And to piggyback on that, please, 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 once you've communicated with them, and now let's pretend the person comes in, the first time I call them, I get them on the phone, they're planning on purchasing in the next 3 months, we're going to sit down at the office, whatever that looks like. I'm going to add all of that information into Command in a note. I'm going to set a reminder for the next time that I'm going to be talking with them. And this way, I can't mess it up. I always have my reminders there. I always have everything there in my notes, so that even though I've gotten 75 other leads that I've talked to over the last 2 days, I still know what's going on with Bob Smith.
100%, and that's why you'll hear me stress a lot, and hear everyone who talks about CRM stress a lot, is make a note of everything you do, use the reminder system, use the task system. There's also an activity record that you can create in your contact card, and I'll show you that after you make that phone call, you can say, I did this activity, and it's just another part of the note system. But track everything you do. Anytime you're supposed to do something for them in the future, create a task, create a reminder, make sure that is all there. It'll just make your life a million times easier, and nothing will fall through the cracks if you do it that way. And then another thing is also, once you get to the point in your business where you need an assistant or a virtual assistant, the more detailed you are in your notes and the better you track that stuff, the easier it will be for someone else to use those. So like if you use shorthand that only makes sense to you, then when somebody else has to go in there to do work for you, they're not going to understand what you're talking about. So be detailed. And honestly, even I've taken notes in the past. I'm in a class or something. I'm like, why didn't I write more details in that? It made sense to me at the time, but now that I'm looking back, like, what did I even write? So be detailed, be thorough. It's going to save you a lot of time and headache in the long run. Now on to day 3. So again, we're going to scroll up to the top. We're going to do set delay. And again,
yes, Greg.
Cool.
Pull them off, man.
Yes, 100%. So Greg just asked, in chat, once you have an appointment, would you say remove them right away from the smart plan? 100%. This smart plan we're setting up is specifically for following up on the leads. Once you start having a dialogue with them or have an appointment, now not necessarily any dialogue, but once you start having a real dialogue with them back and forth, they're asking you for certain things, take them off the smart plan right away, and you're going to be doing other stuff with them. So you still might end up setting up on a neighborhood landing page or setting up a search, but you're going to take them for sure off this specific smart plan, because once you're already having the dialogue with them, they're not going to want a million texts and emails from you that are just like saying, hey, and like, wait, this doesn't even make sense. Well, we talked about this already. Why are you asking me these same questions again? So definitely, it's a good question.
So I don't think that we mentioned this, but the idea of this particular smart plan is for engagement. It's built for them to engage with you. Now that you've gotten their information, now you want to actually create a conversation. Yep. So realistically, you're going to keep them on this until you've had a conversation, unless you call them, they hang up on you, then keep them on this. That's not a conversation.
For sure.
Or they say,
sure.
You're like, hi, this is Brandon. And they click. I would still keep them on this and keep calling them and keep texting them.
Yeah, we wouldn't consider that an actual conversation. All right, so next is, so we did our set delay. So this is going to take us now into day 3, and day 3 is going to be a phone call. So we're going to click the make a call. And again, this is contingent on that you haven't talked to them. So we're going to say call. And then again, we're going to use this first name, space, last name, and the phone number. And we are do not leave a message. And this one, why do I not have a script here for day 3, Brandon? Why do I not have that for the call here? What would the script be for the day 3?
So depending on, so day 3, you've already set them up on a search or a neighborhood drip. So you're going to follow up on that. Hey, Casey, this is Brandon with Keller Williams Realty. Just wanted to make sure you received the list of properties that I sent over to you.
There we go.
Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Great. And then just have the conversation from there.
Sorry, guys, I'm updating our Google Doc over there, so all this will be fully complete. Okay, so now another thing on that day will be a text. So we're going to do text. So now, Brandon, I had a question on this. So I have here in my notes, just wanted to make sure you got the neighborhood landing page / list of properties I sent you. So since you might have sent them a neighborhood landing page or a list of properties, how should we say this then? I didn't think about that until I just read that.
Well,
I guess
so I would still say,
properties.
Yeah, I would still just stick with the list of properties, because that's basically what a neighborhood landing page
neighborhood
is.
Landing page is still a list of properties. Again, keep things simple, guys. I always want to make
the end user isn't going to identify a neighborhood landing page as a neighborhood landing page.
Yep,
They're
gotcha. Okay, and again,
and if you don't feel good about if you don't feel good about list of properties, you can always say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you received the information I sent you. Again, don't overthink it.
So yeah, I'm gonna use that. Like that. And again, make sure you spell everything correctly. Spell check, our best friend here.
Ironically enough, Casey, there is a section of people that I've talked to that actually get better responses when you spell things wrong. Because if you're too perfect, they think it's a machine. But if you screw it up a little bit, like not enough so they think like you don't know you don't know how to spell.
Interesting.
But like
yeah.
yeah. So capitalize a letter here or there or miss some punctuation, it makes you much more approachable. Not to the point where they think you're an idiot, but
honestly, the same thing applies in YouTube videos. You get a really good response if you mess up in the video and you just leave it in, because then it's like you're like everybody else. You make mistakes, type of thing. That's
right.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to copy this over here to this document. Try to make this Google Doc as complete as I can for you guys over here, so I'm updating that as we're going. Now, again, for those of you that aren't going to use Twilio, you wouldn't do this right here. You would actually do, like we talked about before, create a task, and then in that task, you're going to say text, and you're going to do the same thing with first name, last name, phone number, and then you're going to do that same. You can put the same script in there, but you would be setting this up as a task and not doing an automated task. So again, one or the other. So I'm going to delete this again because I'm not doing this for mine. But there you go. That's what you need to do. So now we are going to now set another delay, because now we're going into day 4. So we're going to set a delay, and we're going into day 4. And then for the second step in day 4, we're actually going to save our smart plan. We're in here, and we're going to go add another smart plan to our library, another 2 smart plans to our library, so we can add them in through here. So but first, we are going to do another phone call. So make a call. And same thing again, we're going to put call, and we're going to say first name, space, last name, space, and phone number. And
one piece of advice on making phone calls: if you're calling the same person every day at the same time and they're not answering, don't do that. Call them different times, because they may be at work and may not be able to answer their phone or what have you. So try 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever it looks like, to try to get them on the phone.
Great point. So again, I'm going to copy this right here. Okay.
And again, to go back to Greg's comment, if you finally get in touch with them on day number 3, please go ahead and kill the drip campaign, because if an auto text goes out on day 4 or 5, asking the same thing that you asked them the day before, you kind of look like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's really going to ruin the illusion that you're giving them individual attention. You're going to make it look like you not know what you're doing, or make it look like they're on automated stuff, which you obviously don't want. So, okay, so that's
which they are, but they're not supposed to know that.
That's exactly right. So that's going to be on day. This is going to be the first step in day 4. And then the stuff we're talking about here, guys, I'm going to go in, after we do this, I'm going to actually go into the contact card. And one of the reasons it's so important to be in the person's contact card when you're making these contacts and things like that, because, for instance, if you talk to them, you start that dialogue, Well, you can take them off the smart plan right there from inside the contact card. So that way you don't forget, you make the note of your call, you take them off the smart plan right there inside the contact card. That way you don't go out, forget to go back in and do it. So after we get to the last step, we'll actually go into the contact card and I'll show you how to do the things that I'm talking about here so you'll know how to do that. Excuse me. So right here, we're going to go up and we are going to save this smart plan. So we're going to hit save. And so it should pop up at the top. All changes to the smart plan have been saved. And we're going to go back to click smart plans on the left-hand side. And now we are going to go into the library so we can add some smart plans to our My Smart Plan section so you can use them. You can't use them until you've gone into the library and clicked on the Add Smart Plan and put them over into your My Smart Plan section. So the one we're going to do, the two we're going to do is, one is add a smart plan. Promote my app. So we're going to click Add Smart Plan on Promote My App, and you can just leave it as Promote My App if you want. That's fine. If you do it again, you will have to change the name, but for right now, you can leave it on Promote My App. And another one we're going to do is now for the Neighborhood Nurture, Brandon, do you set them up on the bi-weekly or the monthly?
I usually do monthly.
Monthly.
Not that one's necessarily better than another,
yeah.
Just whatever you prefer.
Yeah. So for the neighborhood landing page that I was talking about, you have two options for that. So one, right here, the monthly Neighborhood Nurture contacts them once a month and reminds them about their neighborhood landing page. The bi-weekly Neighborhood Nurture reminds them every 2 weeks. So it's kind of up to you which one you want to do. But we're just going to go ahead and do Add Smart Plan on the monthly Neighborhood Nurture. And I'm going to leave it as monthly Neighborhood Nurture. And we're going to click Apply. And then the other one we're going to do is the quarterly call plan. So we're going to also add that one. Now, I can't click add because I've already added that one. So it's already over there, so I can't add that one again. And what that one does is it just reminds you to call them once a quarter. So that's kind of that puts them on the longer term plan, the quarterly call plan, because it'll just remind you to call them once a quarter. And basically all your people in your whole CRM should be on, in my opinion, on that quarterly call plan. They should all be on there, and it's kind of cool. You can set it up to stagger it where it reminds you to call like 5 people a day. So they're not just all going to pop up in your task list. You can stagger it so it reminds you to call like 5 people a day or 3 people a day or kind of whatever you want. So that's a pretty cool feature. So now we're going to go back over here to My Smart Plans. And we're going to go in, because I just want to show you guys this smart plan. So we're going to go into the Promote My App smart plan. So you're going to click on the little pencil, the edit pencil on the right-hand side over here on Promote My App. So you can see right here, we're going to be adding this smart plan into our other smart plan, and then that will cover 5 days. So that's going to cover days 6 through 10 of the rest of our 10-day smart plan will be covered by this Promote My App smart plan. So it's going to send a text message. It's going to send another text. It's going to basically send an email and then 2 text messages. And that's going to cover the days 6 through 10 on the rest of the smart plan, which is pretty cool because it's already all set up for you. And now, so the one thing I would do here is I would take out, if you're not on a team, I would take out this team name option here. So take out where it says team name, because if you're not on a team, you obviously don't want that in there. So now one of the cool things they added when you're doing text messaging is they have the app link as one of the little things that will auto-populate for you. So that's kind of cool because it automatically auto-populates that. And then, so we're going to have that and then scroll down. Cool. That one's good. So just the only thing I would change is take the team name out of there, and then we're going to save this smart plan up at the top. So now the other one we're going to go into right here is the My Quarterly Call Plan. Oh, so you actually, why can't I edit that? Probably because I already have it started. So I can't actually edit that. So
Correct.
and you can go in and edit that one. And like I said, stagger how many calls it does a day and things like that. So I would have to deactivate some of this. I'm not going to do that right now while we're in here. So. Okay, so that's all we need to do. And now we're going to go back into our Facebook lead follow-up. Mine says number 2. Your guys won't say number 2. So we're going to go in and edit that. And we're going to finish up the smart plan. So again, we're going to scroll down to the bottom. And now we're going to add in.
Hold on one second, Casey. Maureen, yes, you can. Yeah, you can save at any point and always go back and finish.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Please understand, though, once you've put someone on one of the smart plans, you can no longer edit without removing everybody.
Exactly. So that's, if you guys saw how I just tried to edit the quarterly call plan, the reason I couldn't do that is because I have people on it. So I would have to take everybody off that to edit that. And I just don't want to go into that right now in the class to do that. So yeah.
Once it runs its 10 days, once everybody is run through on their 10 days, then you can edit.
There you go. So, and that's like, yeah, Maureen, so like you saw right there. So Maureen asked if you can save a smart plan midway and go back and later and finish it. And yes, because that's what I just did. So I just saved it, got out and did something else. And now I'm back in here. So we're going to do, so we're going to be up at the top and we're going to do add a smart plan, add to a smart plan. So we're going to click that, scroll back down to the bottom here. And now you have add to a smart plan. And this happened before when I was doing this. Why is it not letting me put the promote my app smart plan in here? What did I do wrong? It did this before for some reason.
Did you put the delay in, Casey?
No, because it's on the same day that we're doing this. So do you have to do a delay?
Okay. No, it depends on how many tasks you have on the same day. You can only do, if memory serves, 2.
Yeah. Okay, guys, don't just stay in here. Don't do what I'm doing right now because I'm going to go see. I think it's because I have the promote my app as a part of another smart plan, possibly. So I'm going to go look at that real quick.
That shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't, should it?
No, because if memory serves, I have it as a part of multiple.
Yeah. So
drips.
Why is that? So why did that not let me?
If it's anything like my command currently, it's a little wonky. So they might have just been fixing something in that moment here.
Now and try this again. Oh, you know what it was last time? I had 2 command windows open, and that's what stopped me from doing it. And I think I do have.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think that's what I did here. So.
That's funny.
I have a million windows open. Let me close some of this other stuff down real quick, guys. Sorry about this.
Chris, so Chris just asked, he said, I'm unable to save the first smart plan. Error, cannot save more than 7 touches in 7 days. Correct. You're going to have to add a delay in there, Chris, to bring in another day. Or go ahead and add the tasks into one day.
Yeah, so I'm not so this, honestly, this exact thing, Chris, happened to me last time I was doing it. So what you did is, I'm not sure if you did it exactly like mine, you shouldn't be getting that message, but you either didn't put your delays in between your tasks, or if you're doing the non-Twilio, you need to make those turn those from a touch into a non-touch is an option, or combine, make sure you don't have so many tasks without a delay in between them. So that would be a couple options. And if you want me to, if you can't figure it out, if you want me to take a look at it when the class is over, I can take a quick look at it too. But that's, because mine was because I didn't have it last time when it happened to me, I didn't have enough delays in between my thing. So let's go see here. I'm going to do add a smart plan again. Come on. There we go. Yep, it's because I had too many windows open. So now you can do add a smart plan. I'm going to do promote my app. And then I am going to so this will be it. So we're going to add a delay. So we're going to add one more delay. And then I'm going to click add a smart plan. And I'm going to put them on the quarterly call smart plan. And we are done with this smart plan. So that is the smart plan. So make sure you go ahead and save it at the top. And now I'm going to get into
Casey, I would add one more to it.
Go ahead.
So I would actually add on day 10.
Okay. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Text. First name, question mark.
So set delay. So add a text. So what am I saying here? First name.
First name. So their first name, contact first name.
And then
question mark.
So like, is this you?
Yep.
Yep.
So if they haven't contacted you in 10 days, and if you're using Twilio, I would even suggest you do this one from your cell phone. Just their first name, question mark. Get them to respond to you.
Brandon, do you find that they do respond when you send that, or you just know one way or the other?
Believe it or not, that is the most widely responded to text that you can send. Especially if they don't recognize the number, because they're going to be like, yes, question mark. Who is this? Question mark. And then immediately call them. Don't text them back, call them.
Yep. Yeah, and
Greg, if you text back your realtor, you're never going to hear from them again.
and Greg just asked, will this be on my YouTube channel tomorrow? Yes, it will be. I will post it on our Facebook page, and it will be up on my YouTube channel. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you a couple more things. So the first thing I'm going to show you is we're going to go back to our home page here. Oh, let's make sure I save this. I'm going to go back to my home page here, and we're going to edit our home page, and then I'm going to also show you what you're going to do when that lead comes in. So I'm going to make Kate a lead here. So don't do this part. Don't follow what I'm doing here. I'm setting this up so I can show you guys something. Okay, so now we're back on the home page. One of the things you're going to do is you're going to click Customize Home, and this is how you can edit what shows up on your home page. So the two most important things, in my opinion, are your tasks and your leads. So you can move these things around, so you want to make sure you drag your tasks up to the top, and if your leads are down below, you're going to click on your leads and drag those up to the top, so that you have those two, and then hit apply. And that means those two will be at the very top of your homepage when you log in. Now, you can see here it says recent leads. That's where any leads show up that come from your website, come from Facebook, come from your app. So you'll also get a little bell notification here. And then if you have Kelly downloaded and notifications turned on, you will also get notified through Kelly. But so, for instance, say Kate was a Facebook lead that came in. We got a lead through Facebook. It's Kate right here. I'm going to show you exactly what to do when that lead comes in. So say the lead just came in. I'm going to click on her name. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck the mark as a lead, because what that does is it takes them out of that list on the front page, so you know you've done something with them. So the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add them to a smart plan. So I'm going to click on Smart Plans, do Add to Smart Plan, and I'm going to add them to the smart plan that we just created. So mine's called Facebook Lead Follow-Up, so I'm going to add them to that smart plan. And I'm going to do Start Now, and I'm going to hit Confirm. Now, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to blow Kate up with all this stuff, so I'm going to confirm that. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it. She's fine. So you're going to see it goes through what all the steps are here. So we're going to do confirm. And now you will see, I'm going to hit refresh. And now we should see, you can see Smart Plan subscribed. And now that will be listed as being your Smart Plan. Now, the other thing I would do is I would tag this contact. So I already have her tagged as Facebook lead, but I would click edit and I would go down here and say this wasn't there. I would tag her as a Facebook lead. So if you don't have that tag already created, you can type out the tag you want and then click create custom tag and it'll create that tag. But I already have it created, so I would be adding that tag. And then I'm going to hit save. Now you can't see the bottom of the save box for some reason right now. I'm just going to click the top of it right there and hit save. So that's the two things you're going to do. You're going to mark them in the group that they are. So that'd be a Facebook lead. And then, Kate just got a text from me. So fun for her. So you're gonna do that right then. And that's going to add them to there. And it's also going to create a task for you to call them that you can do right then. So, and again, like I said, when you're doing this, I would be inside this contact and making that first call. So I would call them right here. And if you talk to them, whatever, you mark that task is complete. Were you able to reach the client? If it's a yes, you put yes. If it's a no, you put no. Enter any notes you have about the call and do complete task. So it can still be a complete task whether you talk to them or not. So it just means you didn't, then in the note, it'll say you didn't talk to them. So that's the first thing I would do. And then, like I said, whenever you are contacting them, make sure you are in their contact card. And then you can do notes. And yeah, so you can mark the task completed. And then again, if you want to take them off the Smart Plan, you can just click unsubscribe right here. So like what we were saying, if you actually talk to them, you can do unsubscribe. Last two things I'm going to show you: how to set up a neighborhood landing page and how to set up a search. So now that was those tasks that were based on if you find their address on Monsoon or if you don't. Now I actually already have videos that are just on these this task, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again for you right here so you can refer back to this. So for instance, we found their address. We went ahead and put in their address in here. You do that right here through the edit section. So what this does is after you put in their address, it pops up with their primary neighborhood they live in. So then what you're going to do is you're going to click add neighborhood and you're going to do find on a map. It's going to plot wherever their address is. So it's going to show you the neighborhood that they're in. So I'm going to actually click on the neighborhood that they're in. So that's DC Ranch Silverleaf. So I'm going to click on that neighborhood and then I'm going to hit save. So now if you want to, you can do a couple neighborhoods around them. If you're doing a different neighborhood landing page for this purposes, I would just do their neighborhood, but you already can do multiples. So now you have the neighborhood landing page created. So let me show you what that looks like for those of you that haven't seen it. And those of you that don't know what a neighborhood landing page is, this is a landing page that is specifically for this client. So you have created this for this client. Now, as long as they have this link, they can access this landing page at any time, and it shows the info about the neighborhoods they have selected or that you've selected for them. Shows pendings and for sale, shows the houses. They can click on neighborhood stats, and it will show them stats for that neighborhood, average home price, all this stuff, high school, schools, student to teacher ratios. It's one of my favorite things it shows there. So you can see that information. And it also will show them Yelp listings if there is a Yelp, if there's businesses in the neighborhood. Okay. So one of the coolest things about this is once they click on a house, you actually get to see that information in their contact card. So you can see the houses that they click on. Really cool feature. So that's just a little bonus there. So that's creating a neighborhood landing page. Now, the second step of that task after you create the neighborhood landing page is actually adding them to that neighborhood landing page Smart Plan. So this would be in our day 2, part of that day 2 task, as soon as you create that neighborhood landing page, you're going to click add to smart plan, and you're going to add them to the monthly neighborhood smart plan or the bi-weekly, whichever one you chose. You're going to add them to that. Again, you're going to hit select, start now, confirm, and you're done. That's it for that step. That will be the last thing you would do on day 2. Now, if you didn't find their address for that day 2 task, this is what you're going to do. So I didn't find their address, but I still want to send them something. You're going to click on Save Searches, and you're going to create a saved search. Now, what we're doing here is based on an ad for listing. So base it on the same parameters for that listing. So I would base it in the zip code that that listing was in. So say the zip code, it was in 85260. We're going to list it as 85260. Click right there. You can see it puts the zip code right here. Price, we're going to do like what, $100,000 range, Brandon? Or is that too much?
Call the ball, man. If it's a $600,000 house, then yeah, you can go 5 to 7.
Okay.
I mean, 100 up, 100 down. In a worst case scenario, the people will ask you to change the settings on it, or they'll change it themselves.
So we're going to do, so say this is a $600,000 house. We're going to do 600,000 to 750,000. Again, this is not, you don't have to get super worried about this. And I don't like doing keywords in here because, for instance, if you say pool, well, they might have put in the description, great yard for a pool. Well, that house doesn't have a pool. It just happens to have the word pool in the description. So right here, we're getting very basic with this. We don't want to eliminate a lot of stuff. So you can do beds and baths if you want. That's up to you. The main thing is the price. And then you're going to create this search. And I'm not going to actually create it because I don't want to syndicate even more stuff today. Oh, so we're going to do a search title. So I would say search title could be what do we do? 600.
I would just use their first name.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, so just
Or
use their
like
first...
Kate, I would just use her name, Kate Madison. Done. Chances are you're probably, and if you have to set up another search for that person, okay, cool. Kate Madison 2, 3, Kate Madison in Scottsdale, Chandler, whatever.
Yeah, so I was going to say use like the parameters of the dollar amount with the zip code, but yeah, whatever. It's easier just to do the name and search. So, because it's going to show you the parameters once you save it. So I'm not going to save this because I don't want to start bombarding Kate with even more stuff. So once you create that, it automatically sends them an email with that search parameters and with those, all the houses that meet those search parameters. So you don't have to put that one in a smart plan. It automatically emails them. And then as long as that search is set up, they will get emailed every time a new house that matches those parameters becomes available. So, and one of the things that's super important is you really need to have them set up. You really need to have your command agent website set up because this search is based on your agent website. So you 100% want to set up your agent website. I have videos on that. And then also every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30, I do command basics. And then 9:45 to 10:30 portion of that class is agent website setup. I walk you through every step of setting up the website. So by the time you leave your class, your agent website will be set up. So
Casey, just one thing on setting people up on searches. So true statement, right before this class started, I was actually transitioning a person over from E-Edge to Command because they stopped by E-Edge because I set them up on a search 7 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
So I put them in Command and set them up on a search with the exact same criteria. I'll call them as soon as we get off this line.
That's awesome. And guys, so the new command websites and this search, their search is amazing. It's Zillow's, except it does even more than Zillow's. So it was a great search feature. You can search with neighborhoods on there. You get neighborhood information as well as any other information you would get from a search on any website. It is awesome. So those are the two things you would do on that day 2. Those are the tasks you would do outside of that smart plan that aren't automated. Pretty much everything else except phone calls is automated if you have the text messaging set up, the Twilio set up. So really it's these either creating a landing page or creating a saved search, and then all the phone calls. Other than that, it's all automated. So that is the 10 Days of Pain smart plan setup. I know it was a lot, guys, but it is. I think it's just such a great thing that you need to be doing, especially if you're doing these Facebook leads. Now, even if you're not, you could just edit that verbiage a little bit and change some of that stuff, and it would still work for if you met people at an open house or met people in other ways. It could be used for other things besides just Facebook. So, questions. We got 15 minutes left, so if anybody has any questions, let's have at it. And then if anyone had any problems with their smart plan, if you want to share your screen with me right now, I can take a look at those smart plans and we can kind of get those situated for you before class ends. So anybody?
It looks like Gigi just asked a question, Casey. With the smart plan home search app, do you get notified if they actually download the app?
Yes, you do. So you definitely get notified. So not necessarily if they download it, but they have to set up, or they have to put in their info to start using it. So what will happen is you will get notified right here in this bell. So Kate said, go away. That is awesome. So there you go. So you can see what happens when somebody texts you back through this system. Now, hopefully your clients aren't going to say, go away. I always use Kate as a test on
See,
this.
she's texting back just like a real Facebook lead, man. That's
Just
awesome.
So, yeah, I always use Kate as an example, so she gets tons of stuff from me. So there you go. So that shows you how it will show up in a notification. And then let's go to her contact card so I can show you what it looks like there. Little did she know that she was actually helping us out with her sarcastic response. So, and then you'll be able to see it right there. Go away in the in the thing there. So yes, and when someone downloads your app or gets your app, they'll show up in recent leads. Now, one of the cool things is if they did your app, they will also have a little green check mark next to their name, so you'll know specifically that they found your app and have signed up for your app. So that's a pretty cool extra little feature there. So that is 10 Days of Pain Smart Plan. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us again. Great addition to my classes. And thank all you guys for attending. I'll be posting this tomorrow. You'll see it come up on the Facebook page. I'll link it to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can get notified when any new videos come up. That would really help me out. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers so I can change my URL to a unique URL. You have to have 100 subscribers before you can do that. So if you'd subscribe, that'd be awesome. Now, I would recommend subscribing to mine, and also, I'm going to stop this share real quick, and also subscribe. So you got both channels. This is the office's channel, and then you have my channel. So I would subscribe to both those channels because they'll have different content on them. So I would subscribe to both those. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And you know, I'm always here if you guys have any questions. So thanks again.